Here it is, Weekly Peel, week 2. I was supposed to think of a good intro, but I didn't. So here's the theme song. All right, welcome into week 2, episode 2 of the Weekly Peel. I have a good show for you this week. Excited about this. We have a guest on, as per usual. If you didn't get that, I'm gonna have a different guest on pretty much every single time. So, without further ado, my second guest. I'm gonna say first guest. My second guest, Mr. Daniel Murphy. Daniel, how are you?
Good, John. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Dude, this is very interesting because I mentioned it last week on the Weekly Peel, but yeah, I used to have a podcast, Maz and Murph, the Manlier Things in Life. I of course wasn't Maz, and this is Murph. So man, it's been a while, but we're old podcast buddies.
Yeah, dude, you're basically Tom Brady now. Like
It's
you were
true.
with the Patriots for so long, and then you parted from the flock and paved your own path.
Yeah. So okay, I have a question because we've obviously done a podcast. We did it for over a year, right? And okay, so this is my question for you. I don't think anyone knows
Okay.
this. Dude, what's your favorite podcast?
Bro, this is such a difficult question to answer
Because
because I,
why?
bro,
This is what I'm
I'm
getting at.
okay. I'm honestly not the biggest podcast fan,
Dude, I love
you
that.
know, and it's not like I don't know how to explain it other than like I guess it's not so much a podcast thing, it's a listening thing.
Mm,
I don't find myself in a situation too often where it's like, oh, I just want something to listen to. I'm a very
mm,
visual person. Like I remember taking a
yeah,
test back in 8th grade, and my learning style is visual spatial. So I think for me, like
yeah.
video is like something I enjoy and appreciate much more. And so like I have YouTube channels that I watch all the time and I love to tune into, but and I know for other people like that's what podcasts are for them. They really do like that. But as far as a favorite one,
I feel like you don't even have one.
honestly, dude, I'll say this. I'll say this. I'm a big WWE fan,
Okay, that's fair.
and usually after pay-per-views on the WWE network, Stone Cold Steve Austin has his podcast called the Stone Cold Sessions, I think it's called. And
Yeah.
I listen to that kind of. So I'll say that.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, dude. I just remember one time, because I remember messaging you and being like, "Hey, man, like, do you want to start a podcast?" I was like, well, what do you think about that? If I said, if one of your friends asked you to start a podcast, would you do it? And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, sweet." And then we were talking one time. I think I sent you a podcast to listen to, or I don't know something, and you were like, "I don't get podcasts." You were like, "I don't understand them. Like, what do you do?" It's mad
uh,
funny.
I know. I was a hypocrite.
I know, dude. You were a disgrace to the podcasting community. That's why
I'm
we
sure
can't. That's why we canceled you,
oh, dag.
dude. So one thing that we did last week that I'd love to do again. I have here a can of Diet Dr Pepper, and
Oh
Mr.
man,
Murphy, sir, I know you have one as well. Here we
always.
go. So we talked about how we were talking about influence celebrities versus influencers last week. And I said
Okay, of
to Amaris, my guest, my wife, you know Amaris, but but for
course.
listeners, but yeah, and I said to her, I was like, yeah, we were talking about like how like I guess like influencers is very simple, but I didn't realize that like influencers, their whole big thing is they influence. So like they're basically like a walking advertisement. And I didn't never really thought of it like that. But and I guess and I was saying, I was like, man, like, that means I influenced you to start drinking Diet Dr. Peppers. And she was like, I guess so. But you are the influencer who influenced me to drink these amazing drinks. And I think they're a very
Dude,
underrated soda. People just don't know about it.
They seriously, I think, because a lot of times like diet has a bad rep. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to drink diet because it's not as good as the real thing.
Mm,
But I mean, even like Diet Dr. Pepper, especially up north, like it's not super popular, except the Chick-fil-A. They like that's not one of their top
yeah.
drinks. Um, so at where I work at Lowe's, in the vending machine, they only have Diet Dr. Pepper, and I just got one because that's all they had, and I drank it. I was like, this is not good. I was like, where's the diet, man? Diet
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper is like the premium version
Oh
of
yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. No,
Seriously.
people don't know it's underrated. So what we're gonna do is if you can get your can nice and close to your mic there, we're gonna open these suckers up and we're gonna take a sip and we're gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, here we go.
Dag, man.
This is always a bad idea. I'm still debating if it's a good idea or a bad idea because on the last episode, we were just like burping and like choking like so much on the carbonation.
That happens from time to time. That's funny.
How was that first sip?
Honestly, for me, I feel like Diet Dr. Pepper has a good froth factor. Like
Mm,
like there's a lot of bubbly going on when you take that first sip, and it's arguably my favorite part of the drink. But it's sweet, it's active. There's a lot
mm.
going on, and I really like it.
Dude, all right. So, and again, not a sponsor. This is all on our own here at the Weekly Peel that we just want to give this soda a good reputation because it deserves it. Dan, what do you give it out of 10? What's your rating?
As a drink or as a soda?
Oh, just overall,
Like,
the first thing that comes to mind.
oh, 10 out of 10. Like
10 out of 10?
there's nothing else I'd rather be drinking. It's the
Okay.
best feeling.
So that's it. That 10 out of 10. Daniel Murphy approved. Get yourself a Diet Dr. Pepper. And you know what? Go out right now. Stop this podcast. Go get yourself a Diet Dr. Pepper
Yep.
and drink it
Mm-hmm.
along. It's drink along with it. It's so good. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a 9 out of 10 last week. Now we have a 10 out of 10. It's only up from here.
So you guys both rated it a 9 out of 10,
I didn't
or was
rate
that
it. I don't think I rated it. I think I would probably stick with the 10 out of 10. But Amaris's reasoning for 9 out of 10 was because water is 10. So
okay?
like,
That's
yeah,
that's fair.
yeah. But you know
I
what?
hear that.
We'll see. I'm so far it's like 9, 10. Those are good numbers. We'll see as it goes on if we do this again, if it gets lower or not. But I like that.
That's
Well,
awesome.
all right. So Dan, I had asked you to come on here because here at the Weekly Peel, we talk about um the life's most important question. We solve the world's problems. So what we want to do is we want to talk about really important topic, Funko Pops.
Pops, my
Dude,
guy.
so okay, if you don't know what Funko Pops are, if you're listening to this, they're like little figurines. Is that how you would describe them? I
Exactly.
have if you're seeing the visual, I have some Funko Pops back here. We have The Rock, we have Michael Scott, and we have Ron Swanson. I have some other ones over here. I have a lot, but not as much as Mr. Murphy. Oh yeah, he's got a ton there. Got James Bond.
That's sick.
Oh yeah, with the car. Oh man, the burping's coming for me. Oh, this carbonation. Mm. All
Seriously.
right. But yeah, so Funko Pops, they are I want to hear you explain Funko Pops. I don't want to be the one talking. You're the expert. You actually also influenced me to get Funko Pops as well. So you really are a horrible influence on me. I mean, Pops, Diet Dr. Pepper, a mess of stuff.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So do you want me to talk about Pops as a whole, or kind of my
Dude,
journey with Pops?
first just explain like if somebody didn't know what a Funko Pop was or
Okay.
why they're
Okay.
important, you know?
All right. So I'm not. I would definitely wouldn't consider myself an expert, but I've. There's a good documentary on Netflix that
Oh,
kind of explains it well.
did we watch it? Or did we
I don't
watch it
think
separately?
we watched it separately. I
Oh, we
remember
watched
watching
Teenage
it.
Mutant Ninja Turtles documentary at your house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
okay,
that.
okay. Just all the
Well,
important things in life.
Yeah. So from what I understand, Funko as a company, and obviously the way it's spelled is
Yeah.
Funko, so it's like Funk O. But if you
Okay.
kind of think about the spelling and the sound of it, it's Fun Co, like Fun Company. So
Oh,
it kind of sets up their mission, their vision is to kind of just be fun, make things
yeah.
that put smiles on faces. And
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how far back it goes as a company, but Funko goes decades further than Funko Pop, like the pops you and I are
Gotcha.
familiar with and
Yeah.
collect, and really, I would say, kind of brought Funko to like the position it's in now. And they started off making bobbleheads, um, and their first collectible, I think it was called, it was either Fat Boy or like Burger Bob. You would
Oh,
recognize him if you
yeah.
saw it.
Yeah, I've seen those.
It was from like a pretty popular burger joint, and that was like their first collectible.
Yeah.
And so they're just constantly trying new things, and it was the Funko Pop that really gained like crazy popularity.
Mm.
And I think one of their first big licensing was DC, and so they first made a lot of Batman ones, and then the talk show host Conan, he
Oh,
kind of got
yeah.
in early. So like you'll see tons of Conan ones, different variants of him with different costumes on, different hairstyles.
That's so
Um,
random.
and then from there, their licensing is pretty much endless at this point. They can
Gotcha.
basically, yeah. I mean, The Office took a while to get, but they finally got Office Pops. Um, Star Wars was probably one of their largest, but yeah,
Yeah.
they have everything at this point.
Yeah. I remember like seeing them. I think my wife had gotten some from her brother for like I think it was like a some Disney one for her birthday. And she like I was like, what is the deal with these things? These things are so stupid. Like they just sit in a box or they just sit on a like I didn't understand it. And then like I started realizing that they like what like I don't know, I just got into it because I'm a big nerd at heart. So like I started realizing like, man, this is a cool outlet for like things I like, without getting like graphic t-shirts or anything, too, early 2000s ish or anything like that. It's like it's a cool
Yeah, yeah.
outlet. Yeah, but so you collect what? You collect only WWE pops for the most part?
I strictly purchase for myself WWE Pops. I have a few other ones that friends have given me as gifts, and I do appreciate those ones because they picked out ones that are like, I have a few Black Panther ones. That's my favorite superhero favorite movie. The Tom Brady Patriots one, and a few other ones that I have, but they're not necessarily part of like my big collection.
How many do you have?
I'm pretty sure I'm at 49 right now.
49 pops?
Yeah,
And how much
49.
and they're like typically like what? Are they $8 a piece? Or are they 12?
So if you buy from the primary kind of where you'd know you'd get them, like Newberry Comics,
Yeah.
FYE, or GameStop, that's gonna be like $13-14. Um, on Amazon or newly released on Amazon or from like Barnes and Nobles, you'll get it for around 9 or 10. Um,
Dang. Yeah. So and then the big thing is like the collection. Like you have an app and you can see how much it's worth.
yeah,
Mine's like over 200, I think now. $200. I think I have like 20 of them, maybe. I don't know. What is your value up to?
so it's not super impressive. Unfortunately, I got into collecting WWE pops late in the game, so a lot of the ones that I have been newer releases over the past like 3 years. Um, so I have a
Hmm.
lot of those ones. My collection's at, I think it's at like $950 in value.
$950? That's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a
bro,
lot.
it's good, but the thing is, man,
Dude, that's a
Funko, the app,
mortgage. That's a mortgage
it's a
payment. That's a rent
mortgage.
payment.
That's so funny. The thing about the Funko app where you can kind of store your digital collection, it also has a wish list feature. So like, yeah, you
Hmm.
can keep track of the pops you have and what they're worth, but you keep track of the pops you want and what they're worth. So my wish list is at like 200 $2,500, which I know I'm never gonna get, but
Wait, didn't you
it's
just
like
recently buy a car?
I did back in October.
Was it more or
And
less than your wish list?
the car was more than the wish list, but it's
It
not
was
like a
close.
huge difference. I could have, yeah, yeah,
You could
yeah.
have. Why would you buy a car when you could buy more Funko Pops? How many
I
are
know it
think?
was
How many think are on there? Like 60, maybe.
not a lot, not a
Really?
lot, less than 60, probably, probably closer to 20.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, because
I go ahead.
a lot of the ones on there are like the first WWE ones ever released,
Okay,
and yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, I started collecting like presidents, and I
Mhm,
have the one that's worth the most money, and you know this, in my collection.
mhm.
I thought it would be James Bond because it's Sean Connery, James Bond with his car. Not that that's a president, but I thought in my collection that would be the biggest. But the most expensive one is a Donald Trump pop from 2016. It's worth like $100, and my
That's
and yeah,
amazing.
and they sell it for more than $100. And because I was collecting the presidents, my mom actually bought it for me from China for like somebody bought it and didn't want it anymore, and it was like $10. So like I got this thing
Wow.
for $10 that well, I didn't have to pay for that, but she got it for $10 and it's worth over 100 or about 100, which is like it's
That's
insane.
amazing.
Yeah, these little figurines are worth so much. It's weird.
No, it's what it's all about, man. Like that's a big thing too, is like I do have trouble buying the pop for $14.
Yeah.
And so that's why the app is helpful, because like yesterday I went to GameStop looking for something else, but I went in there and saw this Ric Flair pop, Diamond Collection Royal Rumble Edition, and I was like, well, I don't think I've ever heard of this one.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and it's not even released yet. I was like, I don't know why this pop is out here on the sales floor, but I'm
What?
gonna buy
Nuh-uh.
it.
You got it?
I bought it. Yeah, I bought it for $12, and it's worth $35 already. It's
What
not even
do you
released.
have it? Or is
Yeah,
it
it's
like,
right behind me.
oh dude, I wonder I can't see it. I was gonna say I don't want you to have to reach back there, but
Right there.
oh, right center stage.
Yeah, center stage.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, well, I know that people get in trouble with Funko Pops. Like for instance, like WandaVision, like they because that show's coming out week to week, and they've been
Yeah.
releasing pops like as they go. But there was like a big question. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but like they were like trying to figure out if the one character was actually like the real character they were supposed to be, because it was somebody that was surprising. You're like, man, is this really the character? Is it somebody posing as the character? And then it came out like the
Oh,
the pop, and it kind of answered it, but it kind of didn't, where it had like quotation marks around their name. So you're like, okay, I guess it's not. And like things like
oh,
that, or like a lot of like in like the nerd community when they're trying to figure out like what's gonna happen in like the next movies, pops or like toys will like spoil like a little actor
yeah,
or like
yeah, yeah.
confirm theories and stuff, which is so crazy, you know?
Yeah, dude. I
Yeah. So
remember you had showed me the back of like an Endgame action figure, and based
yeah.
on like the scene on the back, it was like, this is what's gonna happen. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, sometimes they get in trouble, but dude, I guess they spoiled the WWE, all of it. The whole storyline was ruined, right, by
The whole
releasing that.
WWE universe has been obliterated.
You're a big
It's done.
WWE fan, right? I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but I am a fan. I was bigger in college.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not a hardcore fan. There are people who, because I mean, if you think about it, right now WWE has three shows that air 3 times a week. There's
Hmm.
3 hours Monday Night Raw, NXT, which is 2 hours on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and SmackDown, which is 2 hours on Friday. If you're like a hardcore fan, you're watching all 7 of those hours, which I don't do.
Yeah.
I'll watch clips, or I record it and I'll like check out the matches I think will be cool. But it's a lot of programming. If you're going to be a hardcore fan, it's a lot to consume.
Yeah. Dude, so you're not. You would say you're not a hardcore fan.
I
That's
would
what you say.
say I would say I'm the type of fan, like if you go through the NFL season, you watch your team's games, but no one
Okay.
no one else's. You
Okay. 'Cause
know?
I was gonna say, you spent or you have a collection worth $950 worth of
Yeah,
merch.
yeah.
And also what did you get your girlfriend for Christmas? Just out of curiosity.
Oh my goodness. Well, one of the gifts I got her was this WWE
Yep.
SmackDown Women's Championship fanny pack.
I
And
love
she
that.
works for a delivery service right now. She's a very hard worker. And I filled it with like her favorite snacks and like things that she would need on the road. She loved it. It was more of a joke gift, but she loved it.
Dude, I would say you're the most hardcore WWE fan I know.
Okay.
And
That's
I would
fair.
say that your girlfriend is not even close to being a fan of the WWE. From my understanding, it could have changed.
No,
It's been a while.
no. So Kate and I, we watched the Elimination Changer pay-per-view a few weeks
Oh,
ago, and she was all about it. She was all about it. She's watched, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We watched that with my
yeah.
whole family, and she gets into it.
I
She's
love you
starting
watch it
to
with your
enjoy it.
family. Is this what you all do,
Yeah,
like pass
yeah.
the time?
I mean, the pandemic's changed things. Like, there's limited options. Like, it's either you watch 2 nights of WrestleMania with Daniel, or you're just in your room doing nothing. So they kind of have to. They're a captive audience.
Dude, you're influencing that. You're an influencer, man. You're
No,
changing it up.
that's funny.
Dude, so because I would say also you and we have a friend Josh that's really into Funko Pops, but I would say you were probably more into them than either of us. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, and I don't know, like
Oh
you. Oh,
no.
and also I want to say this. This is weird when you talk about Funko, the company. They they actually one of the things that it's listed that they make or they like sell is like flash drives and weird things like that. That was just
Oh
a weird
really?
fact. Yeah, I don't know why it's listed on their like Wikipedia page that like one of the things they sell are flash drives, which is so random.
I've seen them. It's like a little mini rubber pop where you take the head off and it's a thumb drive
Oh,
underneath.
okay,
I
that
don't
makes
I
sense.
don't
I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, yeah. That's weird that they listed it as like a
Yeah,
emphasized product.
yeah. So I'm gonna pull up these uh these lists. I can't see. Is it still on everything? We're on Zoom and I can't tell. Okay. All right. I have a list of pops. And I want you to tell me if they are real or if they are fake.
Oh
Okay?
my goodness.
This is there's some really surprising like pops, you know? So we're
Mhm.
gonna we're gonna test your knowledge. We're gonna Mr. Funko Pops over here. We're gonna see
Oh,
how much you know. All right. So the first one we have is a Tupac pop. Is that real or fake?
that's real.
It is. It is. That is real. Okay, you're off to a good start. All right. Okay. I was surprised by that, but okay. All right. Monica Lewinsky, real or fake?
I'm gonna say fake.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Sharknado.
Sharknado is that like weird horror movie, right?
Yeah, that got like 3 or 4 movies.
Oh, that yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say it's real, but that's like a hesitant.
It is. It is. Okay, you're doing pretty good with
Okay.
this. All right.
All right, all right.
All right. Cinderella's stepmother.
That's so random. Is it a Disney pop?
Yeah,
It's real.
it's fake. They had Cinderella.
Oh,
They had Cinderella and they had the fairy godmother, which I didn't even think they'd have those, but yeah, but they did not have the stepmother.
oh,
All right.
got me.
All
Okay.
right. President Joe Biden or candidate just Joe Biden. I don't want to be they have very specific pops sometimes, so I just want to be broad with it.
This one's President Joe Biden.
No, no, that's what I say. Candidate, president, just Joe Biden
It's
pop.
just Joe Biden.
Like, yeah, either one.
That's tricky. I haven't seen that. I'm gonna say no. It's fake.
It is, which I'm surprised. They have like they in 2016 they did all the candidates and everything, and then I'm just so shocked they haven't done that. I don't know if maybe they. I don't know. I would say they haven't dropped off. They've been putting out a lot of new ones. So
Yeah, I think sometimes because again, like the licensing factor of it, where
gotcha.
it's just a person who isn't necessarily licensable. I think they have to agree to it. So
Oh, okay.
I think it's something Joe Biden probably will do.
Oh
But
yeah.
that- yeah,
That's how you know you've made it. If you have a pop.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's
I've
it. That's
heard
the
different
goal.
celebrities say that. I've heard different celebrities say that.
Yeah. All right. A yellow peep bunny. Like,
Oh,
the
that's
peeps
real.
that you eat. Yeah, it's real. 100%
I
real, which is
remember those
weird.
ones.
which is so weird because people love those like the peeps. I went to a peep. It sounds really bad. Let me explain. In high school, in middle school, wasn't even high school, middle school, I went to it was I don't even want to say this, a peep show, but it was a art exhibit, like all the art was made out of peeps, like the things you eat.
Oh,
It's like an art show for peeps.
that's fun. It's like
Yeah.
a peep celebration. That
Yes, that's
sounds
a much better.
better.
They called it the other thing, but I like that better. All right. The Norwal from Elf, real or fake?
That's real, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't.
That's real.
I thought it was so weird. The Sharknado one and this one, the Norwal one, are so weird looking. But yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
All right. You ready? I got a few
Yes.
more. Kim Kardashian pop.
Ooh. I'm gonna say it's fake.
Yeah, dude, you're really good at this. Dang it! I thought I was gonna stump you.
I mean, I'll explain afterward, I guess.
Yeah, I saw an article and it said like the Kardashians apparently made like a big deal, like when are we gonna get pops?
Really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
they were mad about it. Which, let me see, is it okay? I was gonna put this on here, but I didn't. There is a Kanye West one though.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
ask if there's a
yeah,
Kanye one.
yeah. All right, Demi Lovato.
Ooh. I'm gonna say yes.
It's fake. Listen, I was
Really?
I really had to check because sometimes they make like fan ones. They have like Post
Yeah,
Malone and all
yeah.
these other ones, but they didn't have Demi Lovato, which
That's
I'm
what I
sure
was
it's coming.
thinking.
Yeah,
I remember they released like a whole bunch of like um, musician and singer ones, and I
yeah,
figured she'd be strung along in there, but
yeah.
okay.
She hasn't made it yet.
She
She's too
hasn't made
busy
it
with
yet.
aliens.
Oh goodness.
All right, two more. Monica Geller with a turkey head from Friends. You might know this.
I'm gonna
Like,
say yes.
yeah,
I've
that's
taken a
real.
look at the Friends ones before.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
because Kate is a big, your girlfriend
She
is a
loves
big, yeah,
Friends. She loves
big
Friends.
Friends fan. All right,
Yeah.
ready? The last one, Mr. Bean turkey head.
Mr. Bean, like the English comedian guy.
Yeah,
Mmm. A turkey head, Mr. Bean. This one's throwing me for a loop. I'm gonna say it's fake.
okay, it's real. It's
Oh.
real. Yeah, so that's actually what inspired. I think on that episode that's what inspired them to do a like the turkey on their head. Like
Oh,
that's what
I
happened
see.
because they were watching it. There's no. I think they say like something like, "Oh, there's no way that could actually happen," and then he puts it. And then
Okay.
they put it on their head. Yeah.
Gotcha. I
So
haven't
that
seen
was
that episode yet. That's funny.
yeah. That was all of them. So you got, let's see, you got one, two, three. You only got three wrong out of the three, six. I think it was like 10 or 11. I don't feel like counting them all. But
All
yeah,
right,
so
so
that was pretty good.
I
You
passed. I
you
passed.
passed, dude. What would
That's
you?
good.
What is? We're gonna wrap this up here in a second. I want to say what do you want to encourage people with to get themselves into Funko Pops?
Well,
What
I
is the
think
draw?
the thing that did it for me, I would say Pops as a whole. I wasn't just drawn to Pops as a whole. I was a big WWE fan long before I was a Pops fan. And for me, kind of like John touched on, it's like how as a fan can I be a representative of my fandom? And for
Mm,
WWE, they have a lot of weird things. They do have graphic T-shirts, of course. They have, action figures that I used to have when I was a kid. And it's like, all right, well, how do what can I buy? What can I collect as a fan of this? And Pops is like, it's just that perfect, it's just perfect thing. This small little figurine that are fun and
mm.
they're really cool, especially now. Like the detail on them is amazing. So no matter what you like, whether it's a TV show, a cartoon, a video game, a sport, there's Pops for everything and everyone. So find the Pops for what you like.
Wow, that was so inspirational. you know, one thing I was thinking about, because obviously, for the listeners, we had a podcast together, me and Murphy, me and Dan Murphy. And we also went to college together. And somebody one time, this is a funny pop story. So somebody gave us a bunch of, I don't know who they gave it to specifically, probably you. They
Oh
just gave you a
no,
bunch of random pops, or they give it to somebody
yeah.
else.
They gave it to someone else, and then they kind of didn't want them, so they gave it to me.
And and if you're wondering, they are not indestructible. That we kind of I forgot what we did to them. We started smashing them
we
and like
we like
throwing
ripped the
them.
heads apart. I mean, if you can
We
imagine
built a new
Toy
one.
Story, the first Toy Story, and all those demented toys that Sid created, imagine that, but like on steroids. That's what we made with these pops.
It was
Was
so,
just disgusting figurine.
it was like, I think it was like midnight. We were just like breaking these things up. Were we throwing them against your desk or something like that?
We were wrecking them, man. I don't like. We were wrecking them.
Dude, let's do that to your new one.
No, dude, I love Ric Flair. He's amazing.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you so much for coming on talking about such an important topic in our world today. People
Of
needed to hear
course,
it,
man.
dude. So today we learned about pops, why you should get them, and why you should get a Diet Dr. Pepper. So thank you for tuning into the weekly peel, Daniel. Thank you for joining us this week. And
Of course.
yeah, we will keep your ears peeled. We'll see you next week. Our guest next week is Peter Stauffer. Have a good week.